Okay, so we're going to talk about isometrics for fast bowlers. And so there's a few things that we can do for the fast bowlers. We can look at a lower body dominated isometric, and we'll also look at upper body isometrics. So for your lower body isometrics, there's sort of two key positions we want to look at. One would be back foot contact. So if you go to this position, wherever you normally place your foot, do that. And then we want to sort of just a slightly bent knee. And then you're trying to get into the landing position that you want to be. Now, you might be down, really collapsing a lot at the moment, but you might look at Dale Steyn, Brett Lee, Morné Morkel, James Anderson or Jimmy Anderson, and you go, that's where I want to be. So you might mold your position or your foot, but we don't want too much of an knee bend. We want it to be like a stiff spring to drive off really quickly. So that's the position we want to be. We're then going to do holds in that position. So that could be holding onto something with one dumbbell, that could be getting a barbell and then holding that position. The best way to probably set this up is get a rack like this or a Smith machine so it doesn't move. Place this up at a certain height. And then what you would do is lean the bar in. And then with a slight lean, get into your position. So you might lean the bar in and then get your leg up to hold that position. So there's a couple of different ways we can do this one. We can sort of hold this position and drive up from that position. So we might add, say, 200 kilos on the bar and try to move it in our position. So that's a push. And we might also do something like we're holding weights there. Holding is often a good starting point to move towards the pushing. Now there's two different ways we can do this. We can look at an overload, really intense way of having the back foot flat and then holding or pushing, or we can actually have that back heel elevated just by having it off the ground, or also standing on something like a plate just to elevate it and then holding the same position. So we get more of that calf ankle involved. The other exercise we can do for our fast bowling lower body series would be the block phase. So as we get into this position, we come down and it's that landing position. And so what we want to do is from here is we're trying to get into this position. So that block, that brace, that then we then hinge over and release and bowl. It's an important thing. Your knee can lock out and it can be passive, but I want you to have activeness throughout all your muscles as you hold this position. There's also this sort of collapsing or dropping of that back knee, which we want as well. Okay, we don't want to be sort of upright like this. So down here, this might be where you need to hold. This might be hard, you feel your hamstrings working, and you might just be holding this position. You could hold a dumbbell for a little bit of weight or two dumbbells. The progression to get some load on there would be using a barbell or a trap bar or something to hold if you have one of those that works. And you can hold the barbell on your shoulders. So in this position, or you can have, if your arms are long and you have a long torso, shorter legs, you can also go between the legs and hold. But for me, I've got a short torso and this is a bit uncomfortable. I hit my legs, so the shoulder one's better for me. If you're doing the push or pull, you would pull into something and push it away or have really, really heavy weights. Otherwise, you can just hold. So they're the two lower body isometrics for fast bowling.